Thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. The political season, we can just say that, yeah, it's upon us, even though the election is still next year. But all sorts of arrangements are on, all sorts of declarations are also on. So it's going to get very, very politically active. And in such a situation, of course, the type of politics that we play is going to play a big part in how well everything works. At the moment, as you know, most of the political leaders have been talking about, egalitarian politics, the right thing politics, for the people. We've heard all of those things. Politicians should really concern themselves more on serving the people and coming up with ideas to serve the people and the country, as well as their party. Yes, let it be said, as well as their party. But the long and short of it is that let it not be politics for the individual politician who is seeing it as a job, a cash cow, an area to make money. You go to wherever is the capital. If it's the federal capital, okay. If it's in the state, you just got to get in there if you're going to, I want to be a politician, so that you can make something out of it. Now, we all know that that is not the ideal, and in fact, I don't think any politician in Nigeria is going to admit to being part of that. But we have guests today, and one in particular who has an initiative, in fact, the convener of an initiative called We Together. In fact, he shortened that to W2G, Ibrahim Abdul Karim. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Very much. Yori Folani,
yes, So you always are uncle.
So we'll be talking with you, and we also have a friend of the house, Smart Oluwole Akpejoye. Akpejoye. I said it 3 different ways. This is the problem of the Yoruba language. The same letters can be said in 3 different ways. I started off with Akpejoye. Then I went to Akpejoye. But you said it actually is
Akpejoye.
Akpejoye, not Akpejoye. Okay. Thank you very much, as always, Smart, for coming on. So, as I was saying, it's about finding among ourselves. For instance, remember when the ruling APC held its convention, for the chairmanship. The president, he really worked assiduously to make sure that it all came off smoothly. And among the things he was saying that eschew anything that can cause rancor, bitterness, divisiveness. Just make sure you don't do anything that will weaken the country, weaken the party, and indeed the country. So this W2G, We Together initiative. Let me just rattle off some of the principles that these people, have sort of put up as beacons, so that I just take a few seconds to rattle off some of them. Well, WTG, it does not have room for tribalism or bigotry. WTG treats everyone with respect and courtesy. WTG gives equal opportunities to all genders. WTG respects other people's opinions and is open to constructive criticism. WTG is honest and has no agenda except to serve the nation. WTG is persistent and has a lot of grit and conducts itself professionally. WTG does not take donations from any politician, party, or political group. 2 more. WTG values transparency more than anything. WTG members take tasks assigned to them seriously. And finally, last but not the least, WTG does not allow internal politicking or campaign. Now, it's almost too good to be true. A lot of the things in there is what we've been counseling ourselves, lecturing ourselves, philosophizing ourselves about, over the decades. Now, let me just start from the very last one. Is it a political organization? Because you say WTG does not allow internal politicking or campaigning.
Yeah, Mr. Yori, what you just read is our internal guiding principles. And if you can see, it's called guiding principles.
That's right.
It's what we internalize upon ourselves or what we want to do.
So if anybody's going to be a member,
yeah, if you want to,
he's shown this.
He's
shown this. That,
yes,
look,
yeah.
Are you down with this?
Yeah, before you come in, so that you don't come in and start just campaigning for your master or campaigning for your party. It's a political movement, but non-partisan. We are not tilting towards any political party. What we want to do is to give what is called political awareness to people. Because what we think that can first change the nation is changing the mindset. Nigerians have a way of seeing what politics is all about, the politicians and also the people that are voting them in. So what we'll come in to do in the next 10 years is that to see how we're going to adjust the thinking for people to start thinking of politics of development, so that you remove the theology, you do ethnicity, you do everything. That's why we said, irrespective of your party, what we want to do in the long run in this first season of 2020, because we are going to have 3 circular elections in our first piece of 10 years. So this first one, we want to test the water and see how far can we talk to young Nigerians? How far can we engage young Nigerians for them to get their PVC?
Is that an emphasis?
Yeah.
Young Nigerians
yeah.
in particular?
Because
at the end of the day, that's the
particular, because I don't see we have the problem is tied with the elite or with the senior citizens. I think they already have their mindset. They know what they want to do, but they need the pounds. Like if you are playing the chess, you need the pounds. Young Nigerians, we are the pounds. If you didn't get us right, no matter what you plan to do, you can't get it. The ideology we have in We Together is that we try to go to the core root of the problem. We have seen the banditry, we have seen the answers issue, we have the skill note, we have seen all these other things. But what we understand is that let's go to the core value. Why are we not having roads? Why are we not having electricity? Why are we not having good health system? We ask different whys. And we found out that the value of Nigerian life is very, very low.
Okay.
And any other system that works is that they value the life of their citizens. So how can we going to get it? That's why we started the We Together movement. So
now, let me stay with you a bit more, because there's another thing I read that sort of caught my attention in there. You do not accept donations from politicians or outside bodies.
Yes.
So how are you funded?
What we believe is that if you put up a structure, because we have seen what happened to us during the BB Niger and other, how we can do, and then how much we are spending in data. So what we said is that we are doing what is called bringing membership by referral. So me, I will bring somebody into the movement. Then I will give him my unique ID number so that he will register. So we do what is called 9x5x5 formula. 9 of you, tax yourselves to bring 9 million, for example. But you are supposed to bring your friends, 5 friends that understand where we are going to, that can assist you with that donation that you're supposed to bring, so that we can have the initial fund for us to start the movement. That's how we started. Then 5, if they bring 5, then we are going to have 45 plus 9, which is going to be 54. Those 54, we now move them to now bring 5 people, which will give us 250 to 270 of us. But the WhatsApp group can only take 250. So at 250, once we make the 250, we break into our regions. Then the Southwest will go there, Southwest, South-South will go, South, North Central will go. Then they form another 9 people. Then the 9 people will repeat the same thing. And we now get the 9x5x5. Then they now break to states. Then the state will do the same thing. Get 9 active people, give them some position, bring 5 people, bring 5 people. The destination is for us to go to the world. Any other thing, because it's a democracy we are practicing. Democracy about representation. Once we leave the representation at the world level, any other thing will not work. It's just like a foundation of a house, because all the parties get their representatives and this from the delegate from the world. All the activities, even if you said we are not happy with the Constitution, it's only people that represent us that can help us change the Constitution.
Okay.
If you don't have, if you want a good governor, we want to go for the primaries, it's the same thing that comes from the world level. So what we say is that we want to get 200 people like me, like people that are listening to me, young people that are very active, professionals that have work and they are doing something from that world level to do what is called stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
They engage with the stakeholders, the churches, the mosques, the traditionalists, the youth leaders, and other groups. So they will tell you, this is what we want to do. We want to get the best of our world to represent us, not to get just the bad people for them to keep representing us.
Thank you very much. It's a very comprehensive bird's eye view that we have here. Have you considered that this might be in the realm of idealism? Have you considered that there are those who might say, this is ideal, it's an ideal, and everybody knows the world is not ideal. Have you considered, and you're ready for that?
We have already started. We have done it. We've been on this for almost 2.5 years.
No problem.
We have gone around
I'm just saying that you won't be surprised if anybody says that. Say, this is like almost like utopia. But I'm going to come back to you.
Yes, no problem.
I'm going to come back to you. Smart Akpejoye. I purposely used the two names just to be sure that I got it the right one. You know, you heard it all. And you are an analyst, you comment on political events, people, parties, organizations. Give me your impression, because We2G seems to be aiming at a key part of our society, the youths. Tell me, with your background, you know, of having studied the policy, how doable how well doable is this idea? Because it sounds like a laudable idea.
First, I always commend every steps taken by persons that are not into politics and that they are trying to make an impact, make a change. No matter what you do, you are making an impact, you're making a change, even from your very small closet. The ideology, fantastic. Ideally, this is how even our politics should be. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Now you're coming to a society where even the youths, again, that we're talking about, they are not interested. The youths today, I belong to so many organizations, so many platforms, and when I say that even it is we that we are within the age bracket of 55 and 60 that are really at the forefront, and now begin to imagine, they are nonchalant, they are not interested. Whatever they want to do is that they want to just ensure that they get out of this country. And if they ask them, why do you want to get out of this country? Everything you have stated, like you said in your prologue, that in the first place, why are we not having good road? Why are we not having good shelter? Why are we not having security? Why are we not having, why are we not having electricity?
Yeah.
Why are we not having jobs? These are just the things that are taking the youths away.
Yes.
Now, you now come back again and say, look, you all want to go. But since you cannot go, why not for now see what you can do in your own, even from your own ward? Because I've always said, I'm an advocate of community. Yeah. That community development, community policing. So, and in doing that, again, if you're talking about the community, you're talking about the ward. And that is why I've always said that if you want to have a good structure in this country, you must start from the ward.
Yes.
The ward is fundamental. If we get our wards right, we'll get our local government correct, and we'll get a perfect state.
Yes.
And it is because the ward is fumbling, is wobbling. That is why we don't have a good local government, and that's why we don't have a good state. Correct. And that is why every constitution today is on Muhammadu Buhari.
Correct.
Again, when you look at everybody wants to talk today. Maybe you go to an health center. You cannot find, they cannot give you good prescription. Yeah. They cannot even, from the pharmacy, they ask you to go and buy it outside. The moment you're coming to that place, you are sending a cost to Buhari.
Yes.
Buhari is not in charge of primary health center. Yeah. But again, it's because we have lost it. We have lost it because the fundamentals that we are supposed to do, that we are supposed to take development from the cradle, we've not done that. Yes. And that is why today we have so much of problem. In 2000, I was on a business development drive, and I was in Kaduna. I saw so many unemployed, so many youths. All this, they call them almajiri. Yes. They will loiter around food where they sell food, whatever, and you dare not stop them. Long ago, I said, look, this thing that you are saying will snowball one day, and these children, you will not be able to curtail them. Course. That is what we have had. I said this in year 2000, and this is 2022,
20 years.
And we are having that problem. Yeah. Yes. And today, I tell you, there is no amount of bring all these machineries, you cannot stop it. Yeah. The only thing you can do today
go to that
is that we can reduce it. Yes. The moment a crime starts, you cannot stop it. You can only reduce it. Now, in reducing it again, we must go back to where the problem starts from, which is the ward. So today, sometimes when I sit back, sometimes I just feel like giving up.
No,
I want to.
I know you will never.
But I will never give up because
it tends to be overwhelming sometimes.
Because again, it is sad that even we at the ward that we are supposed to even be protecting ourselves, We are not even protecting ourselves. We are protecting those people that
Yes.
have even brought us to where we are.
Let me ask, Ibrahim again. What strategy are you working on to take care of what Smart said, which is that most youth are simply not interested.
Yeah.
Not all youth.
Yes.
After all, here you are and your colleagues,
Yeah.
and there are many people.
Yes.
But exactly that point, most youths do not know the word chairman.
Yeah.
They just are not interested.
Yes.
Social media is there, they don't use it in that way. How much of a challenge do you think this is, and can it be effectively addressed?
Yeah, we call them the Z generation, and Generation Z are people that they don't care, everybody knows, and they are entitled. They feel that everything must be given to them, right from why they are brought up from their houses. That's how they've been brought up. But what we intend to do on the research we have done for 2 years is that once we break ourselves up to that level, they follow trends. They like to see where they want to go to. We know what happened during the answers. We know how they follow the trend. But because there is no guidance, that nobody is telling them what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it, then we lost control of what we want to do with them. But actually, what we intend to do in We Together is that we know our main target is 15 years to 25. That's the main target of the program, because we know in the next 10 years, they are going to be the ones that are going to take over. So we have to prepare the system for them. I'm very sorry, Uncle Yori, you're on time, your own people refuse to see us and look at us that this is what is going to happen, to prepare us for us to take over. That's why we have this non-challenge since that we have today. But we don't want to make that same mistake, because I always tell our colleagues that
even beyond me, even older generations like Professor Wole Soyinka, I think there was a time he said he was apologizing for wasted generation.
He said their generation has failed.
So that's what we feel. So we don't want to look at our next generation and tell them the same thing. So what we are calling in We Together is that these values we are saying, be trying to be the good person. It's not something that we're supposed to come on television and say it. We're supposed to start acting them, us, the members. So if you become our member, you're supposed to act as a We Together person. So you have to have decorum, you have to know what to say, what to do to people, how you are going to do it. Because we want your activity, how you do it, to call people to the movement. So what we intend to do and what we are trying to do in We Together is that as you are doing it, then we said in the long run, in the next 5-10 years, we want, if you go to look for a wife in a house, once they said you are a We Together member, then they'll just give you a wife, because you know you have inculcated in you. It's not. It's about
I hear you.
The change is
all
about
the things you're saying.
Now, what we intend to do is, Mr. Yori, is that we bring these ideologies to them in their schools, in the universities.
Okay, you start early.
We have already started. Now we go to universities, we go to secondary schools. Then we tell them the difference between ideal person, ideal Nigerian, because we want to create. What we realize is that before you can create a nation, because now we are just country, we are not yet a nation. If you want to create a nation, you have to create citizens. It's the citizens that feel that they need all these things that we have stated. But because we are now created for all people that just need money, just need power, we just do yahoo, we just want to be boys to somebody.
The value system of our youth is just right. It's through the floor.
Yes.
The youth, because you're talking about citizens, and this is where you might like to come in, because the way we see things here, a look on social media will give you a very good indication of what interests the youths more than anything. Yeah, they will engage in politics, but not in any serious kind of a way.
They're not even.
They're more interested in lucre, so to speak.
One thing I do mostly these days, because perhaps insecurity again has curbed me of so many things. Crawling now in the crawling at night now.
Care.
I cannot crawl again.
Crawling.
I cannot do it again. So sometimes maybe by 8 already I'm on bed. By the time I sleep so early, I'll find myself waking up at about 1 a.m. too, and I don't know what to do. I'll just pick the phone. When you look at so many things, that is it TikTok, is it Instagram, is it Facebook, you see them dancing,
Twitter,
saying all sorts of things.
That is where the youth is very, very strong. Now, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
Let it not be thought that we're criticizing social media or the youth, but we're saying that what it is reflecting is their interests.
We should be able to see where somebody has uploaded a degenerated private public facility and talk about it and say, oh, you are coming to when this Igbobo maternity health center is not working, where our police station does not even have a generator, and even the police does not even have a generator. Where if you want to take the problem, it is only the youth that could solve it, because they are more active.
Yes.
Yes.
There are so many things I don't know how to do on the phone that I'll probably call any of my children, say, come and teach me this, come and do this. Apart from receiving calls, sending text
But
message.
even at the very base level of selecting a topic for comment.
Per comment, and let
and
them,
for sharing.
And let their
that's the whole idea.
let their
because
colleagues
as
join
you
them.
know, the
That's the
youth,
whole idea
and
of social media.
if there's any youth watching out there, I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, but you know, the latest dance step is what is going to be trending all over the place.
Yeah.
And as I said before, maybe there's nothing wrong with that, but vis-a-vis what We Together initiative is working at, it's like you have your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
Really,
Very,
but then again, interestingly, and also maybe pragmatically, you've said that, look, we're looking at another 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
That's when the youths that we see now,
That's a projection.
Yeah.
that's a projection.
Yeah,
That's a projection.
yes.
But as I was saying, the youth that are not interested, all of the things that Smart was saying, I've noticed another thing. The youth, maybe not just the youth, let us just say we at this stage, we tend to dissociate ourselves from Nigeria's problems, and you see criticisms along the level of
religion,
either religion or this. Look at what they are doing. The Nigerian fire service is useless.
Yes.
The police is terrible.
But they're Nigerians.
This is the whole point.
Yes, they're Nigerians.
But they refuse to own. They refuse to own it.
They are forced Nigerian before they became Nigerian police.
Yes.
They are forced Nigerian before they became Nigerian fire service.
A lot of people tend to take values from yonder, you know, and that, I think, is what most of the people are. Most people, youths also, but I don't want to make it sound as if I got it in for use. I haven't. Most people seem to be thinking the easy route. If I can get citizenship in Canada, UK, America, or wherever, I'm done for life. And then you go to Trafalgar Square, you take photos, you get 100, 200, 2,000 likes, but your own Onile Kolobo, you know, word, or those ones are not highlighted. So it's not a small work.
Uncle Yori, the problem we're having is that, I gave an analogy, is that if you want to pump water to the tank, you need a lot of energy for you to do that. But if you want to release water from the top to the down, you just open the tap, it's come down. The young men and women have the energy, young Nigerians have the energy, have everything. But because the elite, or the elder ones, want us to pump the energy. If you go to anybody's office, you see young people working with them. Look at the office I'm in here. You see all the young men. But what we failed the elder ones failed to do is that they didn't see that them is just for them to open the tap. We will get what they want, where they want us to go, how they want us to do it. Then we use the energy and the innovation and the skills that we have now, using the Nollywood, the Kannywood, and the sport distance to push the drive that we want to do. But they always want for us to push the knowledge that we have to them. We want to do e-era. Instead of us to look at the startups that we have, for them to create the system that they want to do. But somebody is now bringing it on top, bringing somebody even from outside the country, and tell them we have to engage to what that thing's supposed to be. So I think it's the flow. It's like you are going along, against the tide, so you keep on just swimming in one place. And my problem is that from 1999 to date, there is any problem that we have in 1998 that has been solved by today. That's mean the leadership, the system that we are running is not solving problem. And in tech, because I am from the tech, what tech does for people is that we solve problem. For example, if you go to MTN,
when you talk about tech,
for example, if you go to MTN, for example, or you're
talking about information technology.
Information technology. If you go to all these agencies or banks, you see all the transaction of government system is done on that company is done just by a punch of a button. But if you go to the ministry, you see files. Even the ministers that we know they are IT savvy, they don't do things, they still carry files.
Well, it's a carryover from the way things have always been.
Yes.
But what
so
you
why
need,
are we not doing something new
is something new
problem?
For a thing to change. Smart, let me ask you, with the benefit of, again, your experience, expertise, and the fact that you are the people, your generation, only God knows what it has done or not done here. How well, because this is going to need at some stage cooperation I've heard that power is not served a la carte.
Yes.
It's not going to be served. I've heard all of that. How will the youth, which they have to do, engage with the elders, and the elders engage with the youth? Because right now, I think it's not too inaccurate to say that very few youths are in governance, in key governance positions. Okay.
They're not even in politics. You see, for you to even get to governance, they probably pick you from your either from your ward, from your local government or whatever. They are not even in politics. And if they are in politics again, they are not active. They are being used as thug.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you see, where you're talking about, because there are a few examples of youths that are in government. I don't know where you want to cut it off.
Where I'm cutting, first, I don't want to take, you see, again, you will probably go and do, you probably go and do a census. You find that most of the youths that are today either in governance, go and look at their background. Somebody has paid the price for them, or somebody is paying the price for them. Maybe their parents, their uncle, their godfathers, not somebody that just stood up. I know of so many of them that came up.
They've been brought in. But it happens all over. It happens in the army. Yeah. You know, people come into the army because their fathers were generals, etc., etc. The police.
This is where again we are wrong. You see, we've gotten the system wrong. We've gotten the system. We've set up a very bad platform, and that is why you cannot build anything formidable on it.
Yet it has been working.
It has not been working.
It's not been working.
But we've been transitioning administrations.
No.
Right from independence.
No, it has not been working.
I will not agree with this.
What I'm saying is that one government has been succeeded by the other, by the other, by the other. It's not working. Because so we're just managing.
We are just managing.
Okay, Ibrahim Abdul Karim, he's been telling us about the ideals that they expect every member of that organization, NGO if you want, to have. And it's a forward-looking, positive, I even said perhaps a bit idealistic, but I don't know how we can escape it. That is indeed the indispensable way that we have to be, because that's the way of countries who are getting ahead. I was asking, just as we were going away smart, if where you guys both said, no. I said, but one administration has been succeeding the last, has been succeeding the other, from 60 to 2022, indeed 23. Yes. And you say that we're still managing. Yeah. It's managing. Do you think the youths are going to, do you think the status quo, let me not say, do you think the status quo is going to give an easy opportunity to Abdul Karim and his colleagues, associates, to do what they are dreaming of?
I sympathize with whoever, with what they are, with those in the forefronts. That's the foot soldier. I sympathize with them because of such a radical group. Because in the first place, it's like sometimes if a cow refuses to move, you see you are dragging the cow and it's refusing to move, it's going backward. You see the number of energy you have to put in to drag that cow. You probably need somebody to start beating from the back, whatever. So somebody, you don't need all that in a normal system.
Yeah. You see, sorry to interrupt you. When people talk about Lee Kuan Yew, that's what I always think about. So he was not hampered by democracy. Yeah. And if anybody tries to mess anything up, there's a stick from the back. You can't do a stick from the back, metaphorically speaking, in a democracy.
You see, the problem, it is not democracy. Democracy does not mean we should be lawless. Democracy does not mean we should not follow the procedures. You see, the problem we have, again, they are the rulers. I've always said that Nigerians, we've never really had a clear leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Very true.
What we have always had, they are rulers. Yes. You make the law. When you put the law, first of all, you yourself, you make sure that you don't go contrary to the law. I'll give you a good example. One day, I was coming, this party in power in Lagos, they had an event, and over 200 vehicles were taking the BRT lane. Now, what causes the gridlock was because they were somewhere, they blocked the major road. So when they were now coming, they all took the BRT lane. Immediately after they left, some other people wants to follow the BRT lane. We saw these people. Everybody, spontaneously, we have to get and say, no. All these vehicles that went, the people that made the law, they break it now. Now they said, no way, all these vehicles must go. If you don't, then we'll put it on social media. We'll make sure there is crisis.
Now you made the point this is the ruling party.
Yes.
So you see, there's a way we take privileges. Never mind take privileges. privileges are also given to people. If not for a few of you radical people that were there that day to really call the situation out, people would have been saying Rankadede as they are going on doing the wrong thing.
So what they now did again was for somebody to say, if you want to stop this, go to the beginning there. As they are coming out from Alausa, don't allow them go into this BRT lane. Let them follow the distance. And also on your own side, start clearing all these vehicles that parked on the road. I stood there that day. I was not in a hurry. I make sure they did the right thing. And that is why me, as I am now, I will never pass the BRT lane, even though I know one or two persons that I can call, say, look, I'm passing the BRT lane. I don't do it.
You can't do that.
Because in the first place, if I'm talking about something is wrong, I should not be seen as part of the system doing that something wrong.
That's we together.
Having said that again.
That's we together.
That's what
if anybody is going to be part of this initiative, that is why I read out that copious list of internal guidelines.
Yes. Let us look at it. The only way we can move this nation forward, again, is that, just like you have said, from the universities, let us begin to go there.
Yeah.
Let us begin to go there.
Isn't that a bit late? Isn't that a bit late?
No,
the universities.
So
secondary school is too early.
If I mean university, I'm not taking out the polytechnics, I'm not taking out the colleges of education.
Yes.
What I mean, the tertiary institutions.
Yes. Okay.
Let us begin to move these people.
Yeah.
Now,
but by the time
I see so many youths today talking about one candidate or the other candidate. I have listened to all the candidates that have declared. One came up and said it's going to give free education. I said that is the beginning of the Nigerians' problem.
Yes.
That free education is the beginning of Nigerians' problem. I said we can talk of a free education if it is at primary and at secondary school. Tertiary institutions should not be free. To train a child, either in the United Kingdom or United States, even their citizen, if you're a citizen of Atlanta and you want to go to school in Atlanta, you probably pay $17,000. Depending on the course you're doing. But if you are a resident outside Atlanta, outside Georgia, say you are coming from Indianapolis and you want to come and school in Atlanta, you are going to pay different. Maybe 26,000.
Yes.
Now, if you're an international student, you are probably going to pay 30-something thousand. Education is not free in that places. That is why the lecturers cannot go on strike.
And that's the richest country in the world.
And if you're talking today about why lecturers will continue to go on strike until eternity, is because we have a free education at the tertiary level. Now,
do we have free education at the
Yes, we have.
Our universities are not.
You see,
not up to tertiary institution, only secondary.
No, we have. That's what I'm saying. At tertiary level, what do we pay in the universities? No, go and look at what we pay.
So you're saying,
if we have to have,
as well as not paying.
If we have,
is what you're saying.
If we're going to,
we're not being cost realistic.
Yes, because if we are going to have universities today that will not go on strike, if we are going to have polytechnics that will not go on strike, we must face it. We must give complete autonomy to each of the universities. I tell you today, that's why I keep saying that yes, we are still getting it wrong. We are just managing. I expect any reasonable, sensible government to have come and prescribe JAMB. Do we still need JAMB? We don't need JAMB again at this period of our life. Allow the NUC to do their job, to follow, to make sure that curriculums and standards are kept. Let every university have their own admission system, operate on it, and perhaps give returns. Maybe per student. If you're going to go to school in America now, you pay what we call service fee. Service fees for international students is about $350. That goes to the American government, not to even the school. Maybe that, and you can imagine the number of international students that pays $350.
Okay.
You can imagine that every year into the system. Now, and they are using it again. They are bringing it back into the system by way of student loan.
You know what? Where you got to all of this is because we talked about education. That is indispensable to this whole drive.
Yes.
We together has to have enlightened, well-educated youths to be able to do what you need to do within the space of 10 to 15 years, when some of these youths begin to now be sensitized and begin to vie for office. Have you thought about all of these things? How we're going? First of all, the educational policy. Are you satisfied? Is it satisfactory? Or is it something we're managing?
We look at all the policies. All. We look at
not just
everything,
education.
not education. We even wrote a constitution for us before we wanted to get a party. We read everything.
Okay, I'll let you continue. The way you've told me that we actually have looked beyond education. So
yes.
I'll come back to that point, because in the meantime, Mazi Okorafor has called in from Arochukwu. Good morning. You see, your area is very popular. Even before I said where you come from, people were saying, as Arochukwu. Morning, Mazi.
Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, our guests.
Good morning.
The youth and the politics in Nigeria today. I think there is need for the top shots in politics not to shift the goalpost. Because if the top shots shift the goalpost, the youth will now have any opportunity. Now, for the youth to move forward, they must have a good qualitative education, standard one at least. That will give them the stamina to stand anywhere. When they are talking, they'll talk authoritatively, not going to indulge themselves in all these vices. But the question now is this. The elders, the senior politicians, are they ready to shift a bit so that the shift can come in? The elders, have they monitored the youth? These are the issue and the question. Because if you check well, 70% of Nigerian youth who want to be in politics, they are not monitored. And many of them were not mentored. And so they wanted to be mentored. They were in a hurry to acquire wealth. Because they were in a hurry to acquire wealth, it created more problems for many of them. That is why you see all these issues going on now that many youths today, instead of them to be part and parcel of the politics, they do what? They will look for how to grab quick.
Yeah.
But my question to our guests in the studio now, you have seen a scenario going on now in Nigeria. Everywhere, there's no state in this country you will not hear one crisis. What is the guarantee that come 2023, that we will have at least a youth that's between 25 to 40 to be a senator?
Okay, Okay, thank you very much for calling in, Mazi. I interrupted you, and that is where you were saying that we look even beyond education. But Mazi also brought in another angle, whether the elders would actually, I'm calling them elders, but you know what I mean, whether they will shift a bit, give you an opportunity. Maybe you can find a way to harmonize those
What
two.
I want to say is that my uncle here just gave all the problem and the scenarios
of the education system we have.
Yeah, and he said that we're supposed to change some things. We're supposed to do some things. We're supposed to scrap jam. This is only going to be done by representative of the people, either in the House of Assembly, in the State Assembly, as a governor, as anything. So what we are missing is that no matter what we think, and I used to listen to your program, Okiyori, I see beautiful analysts. They will come here and do all the analysis they want. But what they miss is that it's democracy by representation. We have to have a representative that will move that change that we want. And then this democracy, this government system that we have, this is the major problem. So if we can get 250 people in we together to go to that ward level, to now have a good stakeholder engagement to find out what are the needs, because the needs of a people in Zamfara or in Sokoto is different from the needs of Nigerians in Bayelsa or in Ekiti or in other places. That's why we represent ourselves at the center. So what we intend to do in We Together is that move these people, person like me, like Uncle, like Mazida is talking about. Let all of us go to our ward. Be part of that We Together at our ward. You can be elder, you can be a young person, but just gather yourself together. So that you can now engage with the stakeholders, the youth leaders, the women, market women, the whatever you want. At that, then you create a policy within that particular ward.
But
every local government
let me just remind you of something. Nigerians have heard about change before.
Yes.
In fact, the current administration, I think, arrived on a platform of change.
Yes.
And you were talking about change.
Well, I'm giving A, B, C what to do. I'm not talking that, I said once we do 9x5x5 formula, we reach out in our ward to create 250 people, do stakeholder engagement. Doing this stakeholder engagement, create the need for that particular environment. In every local government, you have 8 to 10 or 11 wards. If you want to have something that has to do with the local government, each ward will give 2 people to represent them. They have their document. They have their need. So they will sit down, 10 of them or 20 of them, they now decide what happened at that local government. At that representation, they can say, okay, we want to have a chairman. Okay, we have 10 wards. Ward A, give us the chairman. Ward B, give us the deputy chairman. Ward C, give us the administrative officer. Ward C, D, E, F, G, give us the councillor. Then we now rotate. Inclusive. Then in the next election, we want to rotate this thing within the ward. Then at the once we get the local government, and he said, then we move to the state.
I got to interrupt you because Osaz in the UK has been waiting to join the conversation. Good morning, Osaz.
Yeah, good morning, Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for the information passing across. I wish to address, sorry, I didn't get the man's name on your right. I'm the man on blue, sorry, I didn't get his name.
On my right is Smart Oluwole Akpejoye.
Oh, okay.
And on my left is Ibrahim Abdul Karim.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to chip in some things for Mr. Smart.
Yes.
He was talking about schools in the United States whereby they pay school fees, everybody pays school fees. I want him to know that there are grants, there are student loans that you take and you go to school and you pay after schooling, right? You pay gradually. In Germany, you go to school for free. It's not a big problem for students here to go to school, all right? There are things placed down. There are facilities to make life easy for everybody to go to school here. So it's not everybody must pay. I don't think everybody in Nigeria can afford that kind of amount to go to school. And if you not say everybody should pay 500,000 to go to a government school, then you don't want anybody to go to school in a country where minimum wage is less than 30,000 naira.
Yes.
So life will be very difficult.
All right.
So abroad here, there are facilities. You get student loan, you get free education for everybody. No segregation.
But you have to repay these loans.
If you are qualified, you get it.
But you must repay these loans. I think the point, he can speak for himself, but the point he was making was that education cannot be free, is the point you were making.
And, of course, the system where you're calling from, I'm part of that system. I have children there, schooling, and living there as permanent residents. So I'm not new to it. What I've said is I only paraphrase some of the problem bedeviling Nigeria. I talked about education, that somebody said he's going to have free education at tertiary level. I said it will not work. Now, the way it works is that, you see, in United Kingdom, you have what we call information. You have a database where somebody could even have scholarship without paying a dime. Because from the primary school, he or she has been doing very, very well. They've been looking at it. By the time he enters, going to go to the university, maybe after the whatever, he got a very good score. So such a person will apply for scholarship. The scholarship, they could probably give you 100% scholarship. Some organization could give you even 50% scholarship. Some even NGO.
That doesn't mean it's not paid for.
So
you get the scholarship.
It is being paid for.
It is just that you, the beneficiary, will not be paying, but it is being paid for. And I think that the point you were making, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we cannot have free education at the tertiary level.
No.
If you want to call it free because you're not paying for it, that's a different matter.
Now again, if you want to go to school, you are not getting scholarship, but you want to go to school. Look, there's what we call student loan board. In Nigeria, we used to have student loan board. It is corruption that killed it, and today it does not exist anymore. Now, let us go. So if you now have a student loan board, you will apply. And because we have what we call social security number or BVN that we are having now, or NIM that we are having now, your NIM has been tied to you for life. You cannot change it, and you cannot have a dual account on your BVN or on your NIM. So because you have a single account, the moment you start receiving salary, of course, they will be sending you mails. You start paying.
Exactly.
You can even pay for 10 years. You can pay for 15 years. But you will pay at your convenience. You can buy a car at 15 years. You will pay at your convenience.
So
you will do everything at your convenience.
How we got here is that we're looking at these systems, the situations that we have in the country that is forcing the youths out. Even if some will say that the youths are not resilient. But the youths, it's like the politicians. They're going to come asking for our vote. This one will come, he will tell us this is what it is. He will tell, the UK, Canada, even the US, they're busy calling our people, say, come, I can do this for you. Implying that, not saying it exactly, that what you couldn't get at home, come, we'll give it to you here. Even we'll give you citizenship self. Now the kind of youth we together that you are talking about, you're requiring people to be able to maybe, with a nationalistic spirit, not ignore it, but be aware that at the end of the day, Nigeria is home and is where it's at and is what needs to be developed. I think that's
Mr. Yori, we get the best of weather in the world. We get the best of natural resources in the world, and we get the best of the people in the world. But somebody is envy of us. The only thing that they will do is that to make sure that there is insecurity in the country, to make sure that we don't like each other, to make sure that we have differences of, because we need that leader that will now push all of us to bring the best in us. Let me say
a leader to unify all of us.
Of course, you see,
as opposed to what we have now.
Of course, let me say, Mr. Yori, if you take any Nigerian and you put him anywhere outside the system, he just excels.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In the only country that is not working for Nigeria is Nigeria itself. So the problem we want to
let me bring in Bosse. Bosse is calling in from Benin. Good morning, Bosse. Or Ose. Yeah, I understand it is Ose. I'm sorry. Ose.
It's Ose, yeah, Ose.
Ose.
Yes, good morning,
it's a Yoruba man telling me. Ose. Good morning.
No, I'm not a Yoruba man.
No. I'm saying the person who transmitted your name to me said Ose, but it is Ose. Carry on, sir.
Yes. Please, I want to correct something
Sure.
on the man at your right. Sir, first of all, I would like to say that there is no crime in dancing on social media. Then, secondly, I want you to know that the problem that is wrong with the youth not participating in politics because our elders who are in politics don't allow us to participate. Every time they say this boy is doing wrong, this boy, what is he doing there? What is he doing? Please, let's agree that our elders have failed us. And let's talk about that, not the youth. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Well, again,
but we've got to do something about it.
Again, quickly, let me tell you, I don't know which path. Go and join a political party. Go with your colleagues. Go with your age mates. Say maybe in a ward, maybe in your ward election, in your ward, you have about 100 youths, and you have mobilized them properly. Say, look, I'm contesting for local government chair, for this thing, for councillor. Come and vote for me. And if you go there, if by the time 100 of you storm that polling booth in that ward, at that ward congress, a youth will emerge. And good enough now.
Sorry, sir.
Good enough now.
When you said mobilize them properly, does that mean money?
Not money.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to
what
say.
we are doing.
I just wanted to say.
What we are doing together. Right now, again, when you look at it again, you will use the power of social media to send your message, to send your campaign. There is a guy I'm campaigning for now. He's a member of the ruling party in Lagos, and because he's a youth, I've known him even from his secondary school, from his primary school days, and I know this guy will do well, and I'm supporting him, even though I'm not a member of that political party.
Okay.
I'm supporting him, even if I'm going to vote for another political party at the governorship level. But I'm going to campaign for him. I'm going to support him at the assembly level.
Let me ask Ibrahim. How far along the road are you towards this noble objective of yours? As in, is the work at a preparatory rudimentary stage, or are you indeed, making some traction?
We have gone around the 6 geopolitical zones. We pick each state every week we go, and we are live on NTA. Some of the people that watch us, they watch us on TV live for 2 hours. We talk to Nigerians, talk to young people, tell them that nobody will change the problem for us. We have to do it. Then the slogan for the movement is, let's do it ourselves. It's not time for us to start pointing fingers to anybody. Are you
finding people receptive?
Of course, very, very much.
Almost because your focus is youth, and you find that you get some...
Yes, even the discussion and the direction, even on the people now contesting, the big men contesting, some of them are even calling themselves youth because they know that's the topic. That's what we want to do. That's the idea now.
I think somebody said...
That's the new thing.
At the limit for youths, I think somebody said 50.
No, 70 now.
No,
don't worry.
50. Friday in Jos. Good morning, Friday.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, the participants, especially Ibrahim. I really appreciate your efforts, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you, sir.
I want to appreciate Mr. Ibrahim
for his efforts. The We Together initiative.
Youth participation in politics. I want to assure you that we, the youth, we support you. We will give you our 100% support because we are tired of these elders.
All right, then. Well, I want to thank you very much, Friday, for calling in from Jos. And indeed, you know, that's a fine place because we've run out of time. But
well,
as a
Friday, I hope you have your voter's card. Because you can't just say you are tired if you don't have a voter's card.
And that you support.
You can't say you are tired if you have not called your friend to register for his voter's card. You see, do it on your own. Don't wait for Ibrahim.
This is what Ibrahim also says.
We have to wait for us because we want to organize ourselves.
So please, go get your voter's card and talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues that they should have voter's card, because that is the only way we can send them out.
Indeed.
That is the only way that is the only way your voice can be heard.
Exactly. And Ibrahim, I think you said something like that at the beginning. Yes. That is all about the ward.
Yeah.
You got to get people very, very familiar and indeed participatory in how the award shapes up and emerges.
Of course.
Ibrahim, there's so much more meat on this bone, but I want to thank you for coming along. Ibrahim Abdul Karim, convener of We Together initiative. The whole idea is to sanitize the polity and also get youth engaged in politics. After all, the youth is tomorrow. Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me.
And also to our elder here, Smart Oluwole Akwejoye. Thank you very much. Your generation
our generation has failed
is what they are trying to fix.
But we don't want to pass the same battle to the next generation. So we want to stop that.
There you go. Yes. So that's our program today. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folani.